All right, Benji, we're back for our final episode of season 3. We have made it to episode 39.
Let's
39
go.
episodes.
Let's go. But man, I tell you, it's we've got some really cool stuff coming up. You're going to talk about that a little bit later. But man, I'm just so excited and for what this year has brought to Team Wilson. You know, from a Serve Pro perspective. But I would be remiss, Adam, if I didn't tell our listeners. This is the Merry Christmas episode, and we wanted to tell you all Merry Christmas from us here at Higher Up. You know, I know some of you are probably driving through the snow right now. I talked to a buddy of mine, and he's up in the Northeast, and he's like, man, we've had 20-something inches of snow, and we all know if that happened down here, our city would be shut down in
It's cold
Birmingham.
here. I'm surprised it hasn't yet.
I know.
Like, I'm like,
hey, we actually had
my girls not dressing up. Like, they want to wear shorts and short sleeves, and I'm like, y'all.
Oh, my gosh.
It's 35 degrees outside.
That's sick material right there. But no, if you're driving through the snow, you're just wrapping up some different projects you might have for the end of the year or soaking up some silence. Maybe you're in the mountains right now and you just want to have some fresh time to just think and reflect. We just want to say thank you because you guys have showed up this year, and that's what matters to us. And Merry Christmas from us and all of us here at Higher Up. It's a lot of work goes on behind the scenes people don't see. But today's episode, Adam, we're going to talk about just a Merry Christmas and how to have a clearer vision, because leaders sometimes at year end, they do want to sit, they do want to reflect and just kind of reflect back on the year that they've had. But more importantly, we've talked about a couple of times strategic planning. What can we do to plan for next year? So it's going to be fun.
Before we jump into today, I'm excited. We always enjoy, the Christmas episode. Again, I'm sorry, everybody. Brady's he's running wild. He's running busy.
Wild.
He's running the business. He's got some things he wasn't able to do today. So we decided, hey, we're going to knock this out and kind of do this last one. Couple housekeeping for you listeners.
Yeah.
Just to kind of let you know, right now we're getting ready. So this is our final episode, obviously, of season 3. Episode 40 will be the launch of season 4. And we're excited because there's a lot of big changes. I don't want to get into too much. I don't want to give it away. I know Benji kind of mentioned some of that. But just so you guys know, we're going to take a break from releasing episodes. When this one releases, it'll be our last one until January 26th, I believe.
Yep.
So that's that last Monday in January. You're going to want to tune in. Hey, if you listen to us, which I know a majority of our people are, they listen to us more than watch, which I get that, it's a podcast. But you definitely want to check us out on YouTube. We've got some really cool things that we're working on. You're going to see a change in how the show looks. You're going to see a change in how it feels. Something we've probably since the beginning we've said we wanted to do and have just never had the time or the means to do it. But we do now, and it's going to be good. I'm excited about the update. So, hey, enjoy, about 3 or 4 weeks off from us. January 26th, we're back. We'll still be having some stuff here and there on social media. Obviously, we always try to drop, 3 to 4 reels from the episode so that you guys can kind of see and see what's going on. So, man, we'll be around. So it'll be fun. We're excited. It's going to be a big year. So it's
going to be great for sure.
Let's jump in. So we've got our Christmas. This is one thing you and I talked about. It's end of the year. You kind of get to this point. I know for us at the church, by the time this episode releases, we'll have had our Christmas experience.
Yeah.
I know, Benji, you guys have a lot going on at the church. You'll have your first Christmas Eve service ever.
Yeah, ever. Big stuff.
Which is really cool. So obviously, for Benji and I as church creatives, and Benji's a worship pastor, like we're nonstop getting ready. So, man, I'll tell you what, it's funny. Before we jump into talking about our topics, I feel bad, but somebody asked me one time, like, what it's like to be a church creative or just in worship meeting. I was like, I'll be honest with you, this sounds bad. I'm not a fan of Christmas, and sometimes I'm not a fan of Easter because it's we go nonstop. Grind. Obviously, it's the biggest time of the year at the church. But man, I'm excited. We put a lot of work in. I know you guys are putting a lot of work into your Christmas Eve service. So that's why it's good to kind of sit and reflect for a moment, because I feel like these couple last weeks of the year, I'm trying to book a couple more jobs. I'm trying to, pad the stats a little bit on, the yearly income, trying to get a couple more projects in before the end of the year, maybe make another purchase or two just for tax purposes. So
there we go.
You never know. So let's jump into today. So obviously it's Merry Christmas. we're getting ready to kind of talk about that. So Benji, this is always your favorite episode because I
Love
always
it.
say you have a unhealthy addiction to
Oh,
Christmas.
absolutely.
You've
It
been
is.
posting about Christmas since I think May.
No, we start Christmas in July. I mean, it's,
You start posting about it in May.
True.
I always see these little stories on your Instagram where it's like, it's this many
Counting
Fridays
down the
until
days.
Christmas.
That's because Christmas is the most wonderful time of year. And you have to know that people don't really understand, in a business sense, like you said, it is a very busy time. It is the time of reflection. We talked about that. But here, we want to just unwrap a couple things for you leaders in business, okay?
Yeah.
You do have people. Honor those people who've made this year for you to prepare to be stronger, give you a clear vision as you move into the future. This is your moment, leaders, our moment to lead with heart, clarity, and hope. And Adam, just from a little fun here, what was your most favorite Christmas memory as a creator?
Oh man, as a creator, man,
See, I
that's
threw you a
tough.
curveball.
Yeah, because it's like, man, we did a bunch of stuff with you guys, and then, man, I would probably say in terms of just content creation, what was it, a few years ago? Man, we had the team rolling. Remember, we were doing like Serpro Live. I remember we
Yep.
had this like big Christmas episode that we planned about. We did Facebook Live all the time, or we called it Serpro Live.
Yep.
But man, I remember we got to do that. We had some agents on, some guests. It was a show that we had kind of planned. I mean, yeah, it was like 15, 20 minutes, but Brandon Fennell and you were on that show, and I remember the two of you used to kind of lead it. But man, I just remember that was a ton of fun. We had Jordan Williams was working with us, and it was like we had all these Christmas trees on set. We had all this crazy stuff. But that season was so busy, and it was cool because I remember we had this end of the year. We had an end of the year thing that we went with Team Wilson where we showed everybody, man, we had the Birmingham Bowl, we had Christmas parties, we had Serpro Live, we had, at the time it was like the Scooters Frisco Bowl or whatever it is. It's just, it always changes. But we had the Frisco Bowl, we honor responders. Man, I think that February, that December, man, we went nonstop.
Yeah.
Like it was so much. It was great. We filmed a whole lot of content. That was the year Auburn played in the Birmingham Bowl.
Yep, I remember
Even
that.
though they decided to turn it down this year, and now we've got these two teams in the Birmingham Bowl that I'm
At least
super
they weren't.
excited.
At least they weren't Notre Dame 10-2.
I know. Will and I from our Birmingham team, I texted him and I was like, so I saw Auburn and FSU turn down a bowl bid. So I was like, and he was like, dude, this is going to be a rough game, but we're going to honor a responder. We've been doing it for 6 years, 7 years now. But man, I just remember that was a ton of fun. It was a busy year. Man, we still have that video. Jordan Williams, when he was working with us, did a great job editing the video, and he just put everything. I remember you said, hey, can we just put like a collage of everything we've done this month to show the team? It was a lot, but man, it was fun.
Yeah, I tell you, one of my most favorite memories of the Christmas season is, from a creative standpoint, is watching you guys at the Birmingham Bowl, Frisco Bowl, take all the photos and images, and actually giving thanks to our first responders because, man, those guys and girls out there, they do so much behind the scenes to help protect, lead, keep us safe, and they're there in time of trouble to help us. So here's the thing, leaders. If you, as we move into the end of this year, the best gift that you can give your team this season is your presence.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to spell that Presence, not just presence. That's right. Not with a TS. Mm-hmm. Don't rush it. Year end tends to get chaotic. We got deadlines. We got Christmas parties. We have pressure. Great leaders use their team and reflect on what worked, what surprised us, what grew, what challenges that we have that we might want to overcome. And maybe you need to do a year in review to huddle with your team. We just did this with our team for strategic planning for 2026. We spent, I think it was a total of 14 man hours over 2 days with a team of about 10 of us to figure out what things we need to do to get better as we move into 2026. It's an opportunity for you, but don't just have the metrics, create the moments with them, right? Don't make it all about numbers. You have to do those things, right, as a business owner, business leader. if you don't slow down to celebrate, your team will speed up toward burnout. So we have to celebrate everybody, right? We're doing our Christmas parties with our teams across all of our locations right now. And, so it's just a great time to sit back and reflect. So,
yeah, it's a good time of year to look at those things and, just look at what you've done for the year and, where we can go next. One of the things that we've kind of talked about at the church, our big thing for this year in 2026, Pastor Jeremy, is like our theme is like dream again. And so he's talking about what it's like to dream, what we're doing. We're doing a lot of big things at the church. So, but we also took a moment and reflect. What was fun is we got to get out of the church this year. We went and rented a studio downtown. We got to sit with Pastor Jeremy and Pastor Noah, and the last Sunday of every year, we give everybody the day off. Like everybody, we don't have church the last Sunday of the year. They call it the end of the year digital service. People can stay home watching their PJs. It was a lot of fun. We recorded our worship downtown. We did a cool worship set, and we recorded with them. And it was just kind of cool to listen to everything that we did this year, and it was good to reflect with us and look back and we sharing that with the church. Like, this is the biggest year we've had. We had more student events, more kids in our program, more people baptized, and and a lot of that stuff. And so it's just been kind of cool to see. And like you said, Benji, sometimes it's just good just to reflect whether you had a great year or you didn't. Look at the things that you did and did well. I mean, yes, you definitely need to say, all right, here's where we fell short. Why did we fall short? What did we do? And but there's healthy ways to look at that and figure out, all right, I don't want to look at it as we fell short, we didn't do it, but okay, we didn't hit the mark, but how do we hit the mark next year? How do we improve? And so I think sometimes it's those, and then just to honor those that, like you said, that made it happen, because without those people, without that extra work, there's a lot of things that people don't get to see. It's like everybody always sees the final product, but they never see everything else.
Yeah, this is, again, to your point, if you don't take the time to go back and reflect on your people and your team and such, it's a big deal. Here's another one. Honor the people who made it happen, okay? Maybe it's a shout out to your staff, your volunteers. Maybe it's your vendors. Look, maybe it's even tough customers who have helped you grow. Maybe it's that. Maybe you come up with some creative ideas, right? What if it's a year-end Hall of Thanks email? Or what about this one? What about a funny category? Adam, you probably wouldn't do this like me. Most likely to answer emails at midnight. That is not me.
No, that is me. That is me. I'm
You don't have Do Not Disturb on?
I do, but man, I sometimes I get my best work done in the morning. What's funny is sometimes I get my best work done in the morning when I'm sitting at the gym at 4:10.
Fair enough.
For it to open. And I'm like, hey, I try not to send text, but I'm like, hey, sorry I missed you last night. But so.
Well, think about this. Just, again, that little thanks. Gratitude is the wrapping paper. This is how we tie it to Christmas that holds our culture together, okay? Next, reset before you restart. All right? Talk about the value of silence with your team. Maybe it's a Sabbath, like you said, with your team. Maybe it's just unplugging and getting away from the noise. We had a thing at our strategic planning this last year called the signal or the noise. How do we remove some of the noise and keep the signal moving us forward? If you are resting, give your team permission to rest. Okay, and I know it may be difficult in this. We're in a business where it's 24/7, 365, but make sure that if you're resting, give your team permission to rest. It goes a long way.
Yeah.
And as you get into the new year, set 1 to 2 replenishing goals over the holidays. Now, we like to say keep it and wrap it around your strategic plan. That's important. But you can't lead with clarity if you never stop to clear your mind. That is important. You have to stop and clear your mind. And I know sometimes I'm guilty of this, that we just get caught up and I got to get the next thing done. I got to get the next task off my list. I got to get the next, you understand. It's like it never stops. So I'll tell you this, what I've started doing is when I know that I'm going to be gone for a couple of days or a week on vacation or whatever. By the way, as a business owner, we are never on vacation, just so everybody's clear out there. But I'll tell you what I've started doing. I have started doing my level best to get everything that I possibly can. I double stack up in a week. so that the week that I am out, if I'd have a call, yeah, I get that. But I can at least try to relax some. I can
Yeah.
try to reflect some. I can rest some. I can take and clear my mind because it's so, so, so important.
Yeah. Yeah. That's that's one of the reasons, like for us, when we do the end of the year service, I mean, there's a lot of people out there be like, I can't believe y'all don't have church on a Sunday. And I'm like, yeah, but I mean, biblically, the church is just a building. We still have church. But I mean, one of the things Pastor Jeremy's always said is that, look, our people serve their hearts out.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, we've got like 10 or 12 people on staff, but that's it. But we have a church of like 600 to 700. So for all this stuff to go on, it depends on our serve team.
Yep.
And so one of the reasons we do the end of the year worship service online only is to say, hey, you know what? It's the Sunday during Sunday during Christmas and New Year's. Look, you got family, you got that. We don't want you to worry about serving.
Yeah.
We don't want you to worry about having to get the kids up and be here at church and do this. Get up late, make some coffee, watch it online. Hey, get on, interact, have fun, and then you're done. And then go do your day, go enjoy. It's the one time a year where it's like nothing's planned, nothing's going on. You don't have sports, you don't have something, And so we try to look at that as a way too to say, hey, we don't want to toss church in the middle of this. And it's not a way for us to, we don't want anybody to think, oh, well, we're not trying to, take God out of things. Just what we want to do is, man, just honor our team. Say, hey, you know what? Take a Sunday. Everybody take a Sunday. Enjoy. So what we're going to do is we're going to celebrate the year. We're going to celebrate everything God's done. And we're going to kind of look over why we did this year and where we're successful and where we're going in 2026 and what our goals are and what we're going to do. Because I know for us, and you guys are the same way, man, you get to the new year, 21 days of prayer, you got all this stuff. Like you go, it's something. Wow. We were in staff meeting yesterday and Pastor Jeremy said, look, guys, enjoy the time off. Do not do anything. Don't have anything. He said, when we leave, so we'll get to be off for about 7 or 8 days.
Mm-hmm.
He said, look, don't do anything. Be done. Enjoy it. Because he's like, hey, when we get back that first Sunday in January, we hit the ground running.
Yeah.
Like ready to go. Especially for us as creatives, not only is it 21 days of prayer, we got Easter around the corner.
Easter's coming up quick.
And it's man, you got to get ready. So I think sometimes it's good. I know for me, I got a couple projects out there. I'm pretty excited. My good buddy, Mac Davenport, finishing up the last little bit of stuff for him. We filmed a ton of videos. And I told him and his wife, I was like, my goal is to get this before Christmas, because when I go home on that last day before we're done, when the church closes, I don't want to work on nothing. Like, I don't want to work on anything. I don't want to do anything. If I work on something, I want it to be for me. And I want it to be something that I'm doing because I want to have fun. And honestly, Benji, I just want to sit around and play video games for a day or two.
I wish I knew how to play video games again.
Decompress, spend some time with
for sure.
with Emily and the girls and hang out. She's going to get some time off. Maybe take them somewhere, do something. We talked about taking a trip for a day or two, just doing something. But it's that rest, man. Like, it's like, how do you reset and how do you get that where you just fill up? They call it the law of the lid.
Oh yeah.
If you can only hold so much and you can't keep pushing past that. And when you do, it's going to burn you out, whether you're an owner, whether you're creative, whether you're just an employee that listens to this. If you're doing something where you have built yourself to capacity, you're going to slow down and you're going to start being either negative or you're just burning out or you're going to start doing it. So this is that time, man. Like, this is that time where you can kind of really like hone it in. So like you said, Benji, take that time, get what you need done.
Yeah, for sure.
Have it done, grind it out right now. So that way you can have some time and just recoup.
Yeah. And look, as we get ready to wrap this episode up, you have explained to your team all that you need to explain. You're resting, you're reflecting, you've shown gratitude. So here's the deal. As you go into the next year, we want to encourage you. You've built something meaningful in your business. And tell your team next year, we're going to multiply it. We're going to double down on it, because you're right. It's just around the corner. I believe that people follow leaders who know where they're going and why it matters.
Yeah.
That is important. People follow leaders who know where they're going and why it matters, no matter what business or industry that you're in. And here's the thing. We want to, from higher up, let you know, we want you to interact with us. We want you to be a part of this. We thank you for being a part of this journey with us. As Adam said, we're going to be coming back in January. But from our team to yours, Merry Christmas, and thank you for being a part of the Higher Up family. What's the one thing that you're going to be the most grateful for this year, and also who needs to hear it? To end this, Christmas is the season when leadership gets personal again. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We just want to say again, thank you from Higher Up Podcast. Merry Christmas from the Wilson family, from Adam, from all of us here. And you can find us on any platform out there. You can subscribe, higheruppodcast.com/subscribe to your favorite platform, and go out and choose to live a higher up life. We'll see you next year.